Thanks very much for staying with us. You're watching Republic. I'm Amita Vadva, and our host of team continues to be with us, who are tracking Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, the actor who is currently appearing before the Enforcement Directorate in the National Capital. She entered the ED office around 2:15 p.m. as part of the Panama Papers investigation that is being carried out. Straight away going across also to Ananya, who's joining us right outside the ED office, and Shavan also joining us from New Delhi. Shavan, when it comes to the issue that she was summoned under Section 37 of FEMA Act, or the Foreign Exchange Management Act, the actor finally making an appearance today.
Well, this is the first time that Aishwarya Rai Bachchan has appeared before the Enforcement Directorate in the National Capital, which is basically investigating the Panama Papers. In fact, she had sought for 2 adjournments in the past. It all started in the year 2017, in the month of October, when the first set of summons was sent out to over 300 such individuals whose names figured in the Panama Papers. Now, what's the allegation that has been leveled against Aishwarya Rai Bachchan? That is being a shareholder of a company which is based outside India, and the fact is that the intention was to basically evade taxes. Now, that's the intention, perhaps, what we are given to understand as far as these allegations are concerned. Now, why is it the Enforcement Directorate is looking into it? Because this is basically in contravention of the Forex, or rather the Forex violation is it is concerned under the FEMA Act. And that is exactly why Aishwarya Rai Bachchan was basically summoned under Section 37 of the FEMA Act to begin with. Now, let's also look at the other agencies that are probing this entire matter. The Income Tax Department is also looking into the tax evasion or alleged tax evasion in this entire matter, and that is being probed right now by both the agencies. Unlike in the case of the Pandora Papers, when there is a joint investigation team, in this particular case there are multiple agencies that are working into it, but there isn't any joint investigation team. The Enforcement Directorate is looking at one mandate, and the Income Tax Department is looking at the other. As far as Aishwarya Rai Bachchan is concerned, the details that we are picking up is that around 2 o'clock this afternoon, she entered the Enforcement Directorate's Jamnagar office. That's the other office. We are broadcasting right now from the headquarters of the Enforcement Directorate in the National Capital. She is basically being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate in the Jamnagar office. Around 2 o'clock is when she had entered from the back gate, is what we are being told. She's being investigated by the IO in this particular matter, the investigating officer of the Enforcement Directorate, which is basically a part of the special unit that looks into high-value cases. These cases basically comes under an additional director rank officer, which is looking into this entire matter. Now, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan has appeared for the first time. In the month of November, we are being told that her husband, Abhishek Bachchan, had also appeared before the Enforcement Directorate. In fact, it is in the same
taken a political turn, because we've already seen some sort of a ruckus that is taking place in the parliament, also giving it another twist, altogether saying that since her mother-in-law, that's Jaya Bachchan, who is a member of the Samajwadi Party, and with UP polls around the corner, there is an attempt that has basically been made by the agencies to work at the behest of the government. Now, that's the allegation that has been leveled against the agencies. But just let's put the facts on the table right now. The fact of the matter is that this is not the first time that Aishwarya Rai Bachchan has been called in for questioning to begin with. She was called in for questioning in the past, where she herself has sought for an adjournment. There was a plea that was moved before the Enforcement Directorate. In fact, she was granted that time by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, this summon is not a new summon to begin with. Let's understand that. This was a summon that was sent to Aishwarya Rai Bachchan in the month of November. On 9th is when the Enforcement Directorate had basically sent out the first set of the other set of summons, to which she has finally been responded. Now, to link it to the polls in Uttar Pradesh perhaps would be a little sort of an immature at this point in time, given the fact that this investigation has been going on for some time now.
Well, yes, Shravan, very importantly, you mentioning that this is not a new summons, and earlier as well, we had gotten information that Aishwarya Rai Bachchan, in fact, had submitted the records on the foreign payments that are actually under the investigation by the Enforcement Directorate. So, what will be the line of questioning that will be asked to Aishwarya Rai Bachchan today that she has actually is in fact present at the ED office today?
Well, as far as the questioning is concerned, Priyanka, there is no clarity right now exactly on what lines would the questioning take place because there hasn't been any sort of, any official briefing, and it's very unlikely that the Enforcement Directorate would be doing any official briefing to begin with. But just as our understanding goes in this entire matter and the questioning that has taken place in the past, based on that, one can perhaps make a safe assumption of the